Tyrone Bowman Live. Welcome to the program on tonight. According to an article reported by NBC News, I'm going to talk about this, dealing with the embattled mayor of New York City, Eric Adams. Let me get my prop mic. Now we're talking. 3 federal prosecutors assigned to Eric Adams' case have resigned. They said they won't admit to, quote, wrongdoing, end quote. The prosecutors said they would not express regret to get their jobs back. Now, let's get into this story and let's talk about it. For those of you who have subscribed to Tyrone Bowman Live, thank you for your subscription. And we're on the road to getting 2,000 subscribers. So let's talk about this story here. According to ABC News, 3 federal prosecutors who worked on the corruption case against New York City Mayor Eric Adams resigned Tuesday. While they were on administrative leave, instead of agreeing to, quote, preconditions, end quote, on them returning to the office, sending a sharp letter to Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and accusing him of pressuring them to falsely, quote, express regret and admit some wrongdoing, end quote, in the case. Quote, the department placed each of us on administrative leave ostensibly to review our and the Southern District of New York, United States Attorney's Office handling of the Adams case, quote. The trio of prosecutors assigned to Adams' case, Cecilia V. Cohen, Andrew Robach, and Derek Wilkstrom, wrote to Blanche, quote, it is now clear that one of the preconditions you have placed on our returning to the office is that we must express regret and admit some wrongdoing by the office in connection with the refusal to move to dismiss the case. We will not confess wrongdoing when there was none, end quote. So it's about integrity. It's about them sticking to their moral principles of not wanting to compromise who they are for the sake of keeping a job. Have you ever been pressured by somebody to try to make you say something that you know you did not say, or try to make you to admit to things that you know that you didn't do in order to have a job, or in order to be a part of a group or club? And these 3 prosecutors said, no, we're not going to compromise our integrity. We're not going to admit to any wrongdoing, because once they can get you to admit to wrongdoing, and it's in writing, then they will fire you publicly. You've got to understand that this, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on in the government, this is a game of chess. Chess is greater than checkers. Chess is psychological, but let me stick to the article here. Quote, we have served under presidents of both parties, advancing their priorities while pursuing justice without fear or favor, the 3 prosecutors wrote. The role of a career prosecutor is not to set policy, but a prosecutor must abide by the oath to uphold the Constitution and the laws of the United States and the rules of professional ethics set by the bar and the courts, end quote. They later added, quote, now the department has decided that obedience supersedes all else, requiring us to abdicate our legal and ethical obligations in favor of directions from Washington. That is wrong, end quote. I'm a law student, ladies and gentlemen, a criminal justice major. And one of the main things that they keep going through over and over again is about ethics, professional responsibility. These are things I was taught growing up. It's not anything new. And once I get out of law school and pass the bar, I have to take an oath to be truthful and honest and uphold the Constitution of the United States, not to pledge my allegiance to a person or to a party. And if you happen to like the program tonight, kind of subscribe to the channel. Now watch this. The fallout from acting Deputy Attorney General Emil Bove's request that the Southern District of New York dismiss charges without prejudice began in mid-February. Danielle Sassoon, then acting U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, resigned from her position February 13 after suggesting DOJ leadership, including Bove, were explicitly aware of a quid pro quo suggested by Adams' attorney, saying Adams's vocal support of President Donald Trump's immigration policies would be bolstered by dismissing the indictment against him. Quote, rather than be rewarded, Adams' advocacy should be called out for what it is, an improper offer of immigration enforcement assistance in exchange for a dismissal of his case. Quote, close quote. Sassoon wrote at the time, quote, although Mr. Bove disclaimed any intention to exchange leniency in this case for Adams' assistance in enforcing federal law, that is the nature of the bargain laid bare in Mr. Bove's memo, end quote. Look, you all know, like I know, politics is about favor. You reward your friends and you punish your enemies. That's the nature of the beast. That's the nature of the game. That's what's going on right now in America. And this is why individuals must know about the rules of engagement. 5 other DOJ officials would join Sassoon in resigning from the office in protest, while at least 6 top Department of Justice officials refused to sign on to the case's dismissal, sources told ABC News last month. Adams was indicted last year in the Southern District of New York on 5 counts in an alleged long-standing conspiracy connected to improper benefits, illegal campaign contributions, and an attempted cover-up. He pleaded not guilty. The dismissal paperwork was later signed by an attorney in the Justice Department's Public Integrity Section, leaving the decision to dismiss the case to a federal judge in New York City. Well, what is taking so long to dispose of this case? Either the case is done and finished or over with, or even it's not. If the case is done, then why are they still talking about it? Why are they still reporting it? They have an upcoming mayoral primary in New York City. They have to elect a new mayor soon. The dismissal paperwork was later signed by an attorney in the Justice Department's Public Integrity Section. On April 2nd, Judge Dale Ho officially dismissed the case. However, he did so with prejudice, meaning the charges cannot be revived. The DOJ had asked for the charges to be dismissed without prejudice and said they would be brought against Adams again following the November mayoral election. But 3 weeks later, the fallout continued with Tuesday's letter. The 3 prosecutors ended their letter to Blatch, quote, serving in the Southern District of New York has been an honor. There is no greater privilege than to work for an institution whose mandate is to do the right thing, the right way, for the right reasons. We will not abandon this principle to keep our jobs. We resign, end quote. Well, I think that's just as plain as they could make it. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York declined to comment. Let me say this as I close. I know there are a lot of MAGA trolls who come on this channel. You think I don't pay attention to the stuff that's coming across. I just don't respond to it. And you hide behind your little icons. You hide behind your little insignias. Then you put inflammatory messages up. And let me make something crystal clear to you. I don't give a damn what you think about my hair, my skin, the earrings in my ear. I could care less. It's not going to stop me from doing what I do on Tyrone Bowman Live. When I come before this camera, I don't have a personal grudge. I don't have a personal vendetta. I don't care what party affiliation with anybody belongs to. That's your prerogative, your religious beliefs, your political beliefs. I report the news as it has been written. And the service that I present here is for the almost 1,600 people who have subscribed to this channel. and we will continue to do what we do. And I've said before, I've extended the invitation. If you MAGA people want to come on here live, all you got to do is send me a request. I'll bring you live before the camera. But you're going to come on here with respect. Ain't not going to come in here and disrespect you, brother, because I'm not going to have it. I don't have anything against President Trump or his policies. Whatever he does, that's his prerogative. He's the president. He has the right to do whatever he chooses to do. So this is not personal with me. All right. Till next time, thank you for watching. Never surrender. Never quit. I used to be a Republican. Now, how does that sound? I'm out. Peace.